Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Something a bit different today. So, what you won't know is I sold my recovery truck because the weights that you can put on the back of the recovery truck and so on and so on, it was just more hassle than it was worth trying to calculate weights and things all the time. So I thought, I'm going to go down the route and I'll get myself a little 4x4, well, a big 4x4, and a trailer, and do it that way. I mean, I've got access to a trailer anyway that I can use when I need to, so that's sort of a bit of a benefit for me, really. Anyway, so I decided to sell the truck, let's buy a 4x4. It's a bit comfier to be in, it's a bit nicer place, and so on and so on. Anyway, just by luck, one of the dealers that I deal with had got this as a trade-in. So I basically bought a Pathfinder. It's a nice enough thing. It's done stupid miles, but it just runs and drives beautifully. Everything I wanted for it. So I used to have a Discovery and it used to cost me a fortune in tax. So I decided that if I'm going to get one, I'm going to try and get a 55 plate because 55 is last of the old tax rules and so on and so on. And it needs a bit of bodywork, which obviously I'm not afraid of. So there's a fair few bits to do on it. Now bear in mind, this is going to be the new shop truck and I think I might get it. It's essentially, it's a massive van when I need it. 7-seater when I want to go out with the family. So everything for it really is ideal for what I need. But obviously buying it cheap comes with its problems. Now when I say I bought this cheap, you see I've got absolutely everything ripped out inside at the minute, doing diagnostics on it. So the truck's done 272,000 miles. I've done probably about 800 mile in it now. And it's just not Mr. Beat, it's just for what it is, you just wouldn't know it's done that mileage. It's all leather, heated seats and so on and so on, which is nice, and it's comfy and it's fairly quiet as well. But I give just £550 for this car because it's got about a month's MOT left on it, and I thought, I'm not afraid of that. You know, no matter what happens at that sort of price, you can get out of it. You can you know, the parts, it'll export for more and so on and so on. So I thought I'd take the gamble on it, and I just decided that I like it. So for me, I thought, well, we can just do the paintwork on it. It's staying black, I'm not changing the colour, but I can just work my way through it bit by bit and just make it a nice clean truck. Put my sign right on it for my business and so on and so on. So it's win-win. Anyway, so I bought it, it's got a 4-wheel drive fault. ESP light and anti-skid lights are on. And that's it really. So you know somebody's been having a bit of a play because one of the prop shafts was in the boot, so it's just a rear wheel drive instead of a 4-wheel drive. So been working my way through the faults, chasing wiring and things like that. So obviously I've opened this fuse box and we're missing a fuse here. A relay. So I popped a relay in there, and then when I got underneath it, which, let's climb on the floor. So when I got underneath here, all of this wiring, so temperature sensor was undone, all the actuator motors were undone, and if you can look here, somebody's marked it up, so they've disconnected all of the actuator system. Now one of the things that goes wrong on these is if you don't use them enough, this basically stops working, it stops selecting, or it'll select but it'll end up putting the transfer box into neutral, leaving you with no gears. So I thought, it's a Saturday, I want to get the truck working properly. Obviously the prop shaft's supposed to be here, goes to there, so I figured let's get everything connected back up, see what faults I can find. And I've managed to clear all the faults, but I know from experience I'm going to end up driving down the road, it's going to stop working and so on and so on. So I'm going to get this pulled off and I'm going to take it apart, see if it's working, see if it's seized up before I do anything else. So yeah, I'll get it pulled off, cut back in once we've got it all off, because there's 2 bolts here, there's another one up there just for a bracket. So yeah, I'll get this pulled off and then I can work it on the bench. Right, so that's basically it. So I'm just going to get this pulled apart if I can. It'd be nice if you could get the socket off the bolts. Right, just grab something to split that. Come on, nearly there. Right, let me just figure out how to get that apart and I'll cut back in because I've got it to there and I can't get it to go any further. Right, it all seems clean enough in there. Obviously it was the spring that I'd got stuck, so yeah, I just need to split this down, check everything, and then I'm just going to check this worm drive just inside to see if it's actually this motor that's packed up. So I'll do some more testing and cut back in a minute. Right, everything's back together now. So on that system, when I've taken the front of that out and stripped it down, it wasn't quite together properly. And obviously you can see I've still got a couple of bolts left to put in. But yeah, it wasn't inside, it's been taken apart and the spring inside had been put in the wrong place. So it wouldn't actually actuate the high-low side of the box. Anyway, put it all back together, got the spring in the right place, all the wiring's on, and all my lights have gone out on my dashboard, which is good news for now. So I'm going to get the prop shaft put back on, finish putting these bolts back in, we'll lower it down and see if it's actually fixed the problem. Right, so I'm put all the shaft back in now. I'm guessing that when they took that module off, or the actuator off, that's what's been the problem. So they've just disabled it and not bothered putting the prop shaft back on. So anyway, we'll get it back down on the floor. I've still got all the interior to put back in after checking all switches and things. Of course my stereo's not working, so I'm just going to put it in loosely just to check that the four-wheel drive system works. Right guys, moment of truth. Yeah, look at that, 272,000. Right, I've not got any lights on. Four-wheel drive's there. It's engaged in auto and diff lock. Right, let's quickly back it out of the workshop, see what happens. See if we've actually got drive. Oh, it's working. Still moving, still no warning lights. Right, it's the four-wheel high. Seems well. Right, moment of truth. Engage the four-wheel low. Yep, the four-wheel low's working. All we've got to do now is hope it's all dropped into normal 2-wheel drive again. Ah, perfect. Problem solved. Yeah, so the problem was definitely the actuator then. Alright, that's one problem down for this. Let's keep cataloguing faults as we find them. So, the saga continues. So, put all the dashboard back together, obviously checked it, everything's working, and it's fine. And I thought, right, I'm going to start looking for the problem with my stereo, as to why there's no power going to it. So I've had it all out, checked it. I've got power coming from the fuse in the engine bay, but no power making it to the stereo. So I thought, right, I've traced the wiring in, and you've got these plugs inside, which obviously run from the wiring harness in the engine bay into the car. So I disconnected it just to find the wires, and yeah, found this. Thought, right, okay, so anyway, I've disconnected it, plugged it back in, only to have another fault come up with the gearbox. So my train of thought is that I know there was a problem with that box inside, because when I took that actuator off, the spring wasn't in the right place, so it was never going to work properly anyway. So having fixed that so that the micro switches inside it can pick up, it's obviously started working again. However, the power to that switch, to this one which does all the selections, is going to run through that harness. And I'm 99.9% sure that the problem's going to be in one of them 3 wires that have rotted out, because when I struck the car back up, it's gone into 4-wheel drive low, permanent, so it's just stuck there, because that's where it's obviously registered the switch. So basically down here, obviously that's the front side, you can see it's rotted out there, and in the back side again you can see it's all gone green, it's all gone horrible. The bottom one, whilst it's had a little bit of furring up, and it's not my issue. My issue is this one, because this yellow wire here is actually the power supply to the stereo. So anyway, because these other ones have rotted out, the purple one here, that'll clean up. That's a fairly hefty wire, that one is, so thankfully that's just on the surface. And the orange and the blue wire, I'm basically going to cut these, join onto them, and then find the corresponding wires on the plug that goes in here, because that's all rotted out too. So basically I'm going to take the back off of this, find the corresponding wires, and we'll just splice them together, solder them up, and hopefully that should solve our problem. So wish me luck. Alright, so the 3 wires that were the problem, taken them out there, cut them, put some heat shrink on them, and the rest are all okay. I've just cleaned up the pins, and I just wanted everything so that it will be just sat out the way, so that all the trims and things can go back on, and hopefully we should right. So I've still got my ESP light on, so I'm going to have to go back into my diagnostics yet, because I'm still in 4-wheel low here. That's better. Right, cycled through the switch, and that's turned all that back off again. Now the stereo's got some power to it. I haven't got the code to that, so I'm just going to enter this bypass you can do on it, but I'm not going to put that on the YouTube. Right, there we go. Just turn the music down, don't want to get copyrighted for anything, but we've got a working stereo. So I just need to get onto Nissan to get a code or replacement stereo. Either way, whichever is easier, but we're done, we're working. It's time for me to finish this. It's been a long old day that, working out problems on this thing. Anyway, we're there, it's good. Hopefully I'll drive home tonight and it'll be fine. So I'm going to end that one there, because I don't know how long this one's run into. So as always guys, if you've enjoyed watching it, please give us a thumbs up, please share and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you when we get the next one out. Cheers guys, thanks for watching.